The lights inside the StubHub Center in Carson, California, burn hot against the night, washing the ring in white, while the crowd hums with anticipation. This is not just another fight night. This is a crossroads. The applause rolls like distant thunder as two fighters approach the center of the storm. From Puerto Rico comes Miguel Cotto, a name etched deep into boxing history, a warrior whose career has been defined by discipline, scars, and an unforgiving left hook to the body, a punch that has ended champions and broken wills. Across from him stands Yoshihiro Kamegai of Japan, a man built not on finesse, but on resolve. He doesn't arrive with superstardom. He arrives with pressure, durability, and a reputation for pain tolerance that borders on myth. As the referee gives his final instructions, the fighters touch gloves, and in that brief moment of sportsmanship, the tension becomes almost unbearable. For Cotto, this fight is about legacy, proof that time has not eroded his craft, that the loss, the layoffs, the miles on his body have not dulled his edge. For Kamegai, this is the chance of a lifetime, to test himself against greatness, to see if relentless pressure can crack a future Hall of Famer. The bell rings, and immediately, the arena shifts. This is not a chess match. This is a collision. From the opening seconds, fists fly, leather snaps, and the crowd senses it. This will not be a quiet night. This will be a fight of will, of endurance, of damage absorbed and damage delivered, where pride and punishment will be traded round after round. The early rounds unfold with violent honesty. Kamegai wastes no time announcing his intentions, stepping forward with heavy hooks to the body, inviting contact, daring Cotto to exchange. His style is raw, relentless, almost reckless, a pressure fighter cut from old cloth. Cotto answers, not with panic, but with education. His punches are shorter, sharper, and more economical. The legendary left hook digs into Kamegai's ribs, a weapon refined over decades, and every time it lands, the crowd reacts as if on cue. Yet Kamegai does not retreat. He fires back with his own hooks, snapping Cotto's head just enough to remind everyone that this is no one-sided affair. Blood appears early, trickling from Kamegai's nose and mouth. But it only seems to fuel him. The Japanese warrior keeps coming, absorbing punishment, rolling with shots, banging his gloves together between exchanges, as if daring Cotto to give him more. The pace is brutal. There is little defense, little rest. This is a phone booth fight fought at center ring, where stamina and toughness matter as much as skill. Cotto lands more, cleaner, crisper, more precise. But Kamegai's pressure forces him to work every second. The crowd senses the imbalance in experience, but respects the courage on display. These early rounds establish the rhythm of the fight. Cotto as the surgeon, Kamegai as the hammer. And as the bell ends the opening chapters, one truth becomes clear. This will not be decided quickly. This will be decided by who can endure the longest. As the fight moves into the middle rounds, the contrast sharpens. Miguel Cotto begins to assert full control, not by slowing the fight, but by mastering it. He steps laterally after landing, angles off just enough to punish Kamegai's forward momentum. The left hook continues to find its home, body, head, body again. A systematic dismantling. Cotto's experience shows in the subtle details, the way he throws without overcommitting, the way he breathes between exchanges, the way he times Kamegai's rushes. Kamegai, meanwhile, refuses to change who he is. He throws in volume, swinging with bad intentions, hoping that attrition will do what technique cannot. He eats punches that would have folded other fighters. More than 400 power shots over the course of the fight, yet he never stops pressing forward. The crowd begins to shift its reaction, no longer just cheering big punches, but applauding courage itself. Every time Kamegai absorbs a brutal combination and stays upright, the arena erupts. Still, the momentum belongs to Cotto. He lands nearly twice as many punches, his right hand sneaking down the middle, his left hook snapping heads back, his bodywork visibly draining Kamegai's energy. This is where legends separate themselves. Not through knockouts alone, but through control under chaos. And while the fight remains competitive in spirit, the skill gap becomes undeniable. Cotto is not rushing. He is not reckless. He is breaking his opponent down piece by piece. By the later rounds, the damage tells its own story. Kamegai's face is marked, swollen, painted in blood and sweat. Yet his eyes remain defiant. He continues to throw, continues to chase, continues to believe. But belief alone cannot stop what is coming. Cotto's punches begin to echo louder, not because they are harder, but because they are cleaner. Combinations ripple through the arena. Left hook to the body, right hand upstairs, left hook again. The crowd gasps as Kamegai's head snaps back repeatedly. His reactions exaggerated not for deception, but because the shots are real. There are moments where the referee watches closely, moments where the commentators debate whether this has become too one-sided, moments where boxing's thin line between bravery and danger comes into focus. Still, Kamegai stands. Still, he answers. This is not a knockout showcase. This is a test of human limits. Cotto, now fully in command, continues to press without cruelty, without panic, delivering punishment with professionalism. He knows he cannot rush history. He knows he must let the rounds come to him. The pace remains unforgiving, the exchanges violent, the respect between fighters unspoken but undeniable. This is not hatred. This is competition at its rawest level. As the fight enters the championship rounds, the crowd rises to its feet. A standing ovation greets the 12th, not for dominance alone, but for endurance. Kamegai, exhausted, battered, but unbroken, continues to step forward. He has taken everything Miguel Cotto can give and is still standing. Cotto, now visibly bloodied himself, maintains his form, snapping punches with veteran precision. There is no desperation here, only control. Each exchange feels heavy, not just with force, but with meaning. These are the moments fighters are remembered for. Not just who wins, but how they endure. The bell finally rings, and both men return to their corners, having emptied themselves completely. The crowd roars, not for violence, but for heart. Kamegai has lost the fight on the cards long before this moment, but he has gained something else: respect. Cotto has proven what he came to prove, that age, setbacks, and wars have not stripped him of his greatness. This was not about speed or flash. This was about will, experience, and the quiet dominance of a master at work. The fighters gather at center ring as the scorecards are read. The arena grows silent, though the outcome feels inevitable. Unanimous decision. The new WBO junior middleweight champion of the world, Miguel Angel Cotto of Puerto Rico. The applause erupts, echoing through the StubHub Center as Cotto raises his arms, another chapter added to an already historic career. Yet, as he celebrates, eyes turn to Yoshihiro Kamegai, who stands battered but proud, having gone 12 rounds with the legend and never once backing down. This fight will not be remembered for knockdowns or knockouts. It will be remembered for punishment absorbed, for courage displayed, for the brutal beauty of boxing laid bare. Cotto walks away with a title, his path to the Hall of Fame unobstructed. Kamegai walks away with something just as rare, the respect of everyone who witnessed his refusal to quit. On this night in California, boxing showed its truth. Not just victory and defeat, but the human cost of greatness. The lights dim, the crowd slowly disperses, and the echoes of leather on a flesh linger in the air. A reminder that some fights are not about who falls, but about who stands until the very end.